Tarot. Um, I'm gonna wait for some of you guys to come in a little bit. We're gonna talk about this phone call. Did not plan on going live for this, but it was sent to me. I listened to it. I listened to Benny's live stream on it. I want to play parts of both, and then I want to talk about this. It's quite something. I could say that this phone call. Um, I've taken a little bit of notes, like just sort of questions that I have. Hi, little Dave. How are you? Um, the first thing I want to say is this. I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh my God, how can you play that?" Well, this is the true crime genre. People seem to be confused about where they're at on YouTube. Um, we are speaking about true crime. You do realize that you are going to hear very gruesome things. Okay. There's nothing pretty about true crime. I've said this before. I'll say it again. There's just nothing good about it. Okay. True crime is bad stuff. So when people get this sensitive, maybe you're not in the right place. Okay. Because you're gonna hear about child murder. You are going to hear about all sorts of things that are not good, that are really bad and really tough to hear. And sometimes people just can't handle that, and that's fine. I just don't suggest the true crime community for you, if that's how you feel. But anyway, Joe, evidence should be turned over. Hi guys. Hi Mackenzie. Hi Lisa. Hi Pink Butterfly. Hi little Dave. Hey, sweet. So we're gonna get into this phone call real quick. Um, this just a little context on this call. Shannon H. Is it Shannon H or Shannon S? Let me look real quick. Shannon S. Sorry, Shannon S. Who you guys have, if you watch Betty Keys, I'm sure you've seen her on there. She's been on other live streams. She's been to the Wells' house twice, staying for a little bit of a prolonged period of time. So she's definitely talked with Benny. She's been on Benny's channel, like I said. She's been on other channels, and she's talked about her time at the Wells' house. Now, she is the one that released this phone call in a Discord. Okay. Benny has never released this. He has said basically that he debunked it. We're gonna get there. Let's go ahead and listen to this phone call. We're not gonna listen to the entire thing, but and trigger warning. Again, if this is graphic, I'm gonna tell you that now. It's tough to listen to. So if that's not for you, please just check out now. That's the best thing for you to do, because this is not going to be an easy thing to listen to. I can promise you that. So we're crap. Okay. So we are going to listen to this phone call. And by the way, this is on Voices Behind the Shite. But there's the name. Voices Behind the Shit. That's what it is. And they're the ones that released this. So here it says Shannon S. said that Benny Keys didn't want this out. Wonder why. Also, possibly not reported for 2 months, and you support this. Okay. So, little jab at Benny there. But here, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put my mic up here so you guys can hopefully hear better. And here we go.
He's sitting here beside me.
Oh, he's sitting next to you. No, I didn't hear him. What did he say?
He is.
She's not just the social worker controlling the case, but she is controlling the youngest child of the Wells, of the boys. She's actually like She's a psychologist, social worker. She works for.
I'm sorry, you guys. Children. Okay.
For CPS, but she's also a licensed therapist as well.
Okay.
Right. So he, I don't know if the other children, but I know that he is actually in what they call an Isaiah house. And this child, she says that he just kind of stares at walls and he doesn't talk much and he's just kind of zoned out majority of his day. So they have a hard time even getting him to respond to anything they say to him.
This is the youngest
So-
boy.
Right. Right.
Okay,
So he goes on to tell me, and I'm like, well, let me talk to the guy you work with because I want to hear this from him, So I get on the phone with him and I start asking him, what do you know about this? And he's like, well, she's dead. I said, well, how do you know that? He said, because my girlfriend is the social worker that deals with the youngest child. He's in what they call an Isaiah house, and he's traumatized from the whole incident. And I said, well, how do you know that she's no longer alive? And he said, because according to his girlfriend, that the Wells, both parents apparently had set something up because they owed a lot of money to somebody. And when it comes time to pay, Dawn couldn't pay. So they were actually directed to give not just Summer, but the youngest boy up for ransom. So it was both of them that were supposed to be given up. Something had happened that day and everything fell apart. It went wrong. And during the time that they were taken from the home, apparently, I don't know if he said it was at the house when this happened or if it was away, but when the boy and the girl realized what was happening, Summer apparently tried to run, and the little boy ran, and something happened to where Summer got hurt, and they actually watched her cut that little girl's throat. And this is what he's told the social worker.
But she's not allowed to say anything because of an NDA.
An NDA act. So there's her as well as the guy that works with my husband, and like 5 local law enforcement knows about this, but according to him, nobody can say anything about this because she could actually go to jail for telling and lose, what job she has and anything that comes.
Well, I'm not. So it's been like, so it's reported essentially. Like this isn't a thing that I need to report necessarily because the way I guess I understand it is that some law enforcement already knows, correct?
Well,
they do, but
you kind of know how the law enforcement works. This is not it's like a tight-knit group of buddies.
Yeah, these youngs have not reported it to anybody that needs to know.
In fear of
their own families being backlash.
Okay.
Right.
You
And
said,
the only reason that I chose to come to you, I mean, there's how many people, I guess
Okay, and we'll just stop it there because that is the most significant part. Again, very difficult to listen to. So I have questions. Okay. I have a lot of questions actually. You remember Benny saying, and this is after his little breakaway from the Wellses. Do you guys remember Benny saying that, Don, while he was there, Don was out on crack benches and with hookers and things like that, right? And do you remember Benny on Cher's live? When Cher asked Benny if he had any regrets, he said his biggest regret was not killing Don and slitting his throat or stabbing him in the throat. It's very interesting because he heard this phone call and then he says that that's his biggest regret, not killing Don in that way. So I'm thinking to myself, Benny's aware, by his own admission that, Don does a lot of crack cocaine, not really religious. That's a front for him. And, that his biggest regret is not killing Don Wells. That's a really powerful statement. Why would you want to kill him? Honestly. I mean, I know what he's admitted to with his stepsisters, but what do you know that you want to actually kill this person, or that's your big regret? Do you know what I mean? Another thing, they go on in that video to say that Summer, okay, you know what? We're going to have to pull that back up for a minute because I want it to come from their mouths and not mine. Hang on, because they say where Summer is allegedly at. Oops, wrong one. Okay. So let's just go back to that video real quick. And let me play just a little bit more because I think it's like right after this.
No,
I don't
I
really know
understand.
why I chose Boo. I guess just you seem sensible and you could push something where you need to go. I don't know.
I can. I absolutely can. What I need to do, so because it sounds,
The clothes that you spoke about last night, that the evidence is that's the young boy's clothes. That's his size.
Okay.
He's not no slouch of a kid at all.
No, he's not.
I know he's youngest.
Yeah.
I will say this. If you guys have seen pictures of the Wells boys, I always assumed those were Josie's pants by the size of them because the youngest one didn't look that size to me. But we'll go on.
Yeah, I understand.
Even though he's the youngest, he's not no slouch by no means.
No, I will tell you this. Me personally, I don't believe in the whole mediumship thing. That stuff wigs me out because I'm full-on Christian. That stuff just sends me into a whirlwind inside of my emotions in my head. So I don't personally believe in that stuff, but I did, however, listen to a couple of those from the lady that apparently had some evidence that cracked another case with the Tali and another child that was murdered.
Donna Serafina.
Right. Okay. So we were listening to those, and a lot of things that she touched on, my husband was like, wait a second. He's like, I know that there's a park in Tennessee that has a carousel, and we put it up on Google Maps, and there very well is. And it has a steam engine there that just sits there for looks that you can go inside and within 30 minutes at their house. So, I mean, but the boy also did say that they dumped her body in South Holston Lake. Now, mind you, South Holston Lake comes all the way from my house down to the Tri-Cities, so it is massive. It's
South Holston Lake. That's where they allegedly put her. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Isn't South Holston Lake the swimming hole? It is not. Okay, it's close. It's about 40 minutes from Warriors. But it's not the same body of water. Just to be clear on that. But I've always talked to you guys about that freaking swimming hole because I'm telling you that when I was there, that there was just something, I felt something. And I also have always noted that that was the only place, according to Chris McDonough, that Candace got emotional at, was at the swimming hole near water. Okay. Now, with these people saying that, Don owed a lot of money, drugs, I couldn't pay it back. It made me start thinking about Andy Bernard and Jody Sue Brown. And the reason why is, I think, obvious. We listen. Hey, Jess. We listen for, months of Jody Sue go on and on and on about Andy Bernard being he's Voldemort, he's evil. And, I even heard her say one time that they had threatened to, or Andy had threatened to kill her and the children almost on a daily basis. Okay. We both know that Jody Sue Brown and Andy Bernard have the same exact drug charges. We've also heard Don Wells say that he could go to their driveway and get any kind of drugs that he wanted. Okay. Now, so for all these months, I've said this before, say it again, Jody Sue Brown, did everything in her power to paint Andy Bernard as just the devil. She needed to get away from right then and there. She was in danger. Her kids were in danger. People from YouTube helped her get a trailer. But the second that Chris McDonough releases that uncut version of his live stream with Hunter naming Andy, we all knew that. He was like Andy, Andrew, Andy, something like that. I think he knew exactly who it was. So, the second that happens, suddenly Jody Sue changes. Now he's not Voldemort anymore. Now he's my auntie. Well, that wasn't my auntie. No, she's ready to defend this drug thing all the way to the end. Remember Andy Bernard, Jody Sue Brown saying that Andy Bernard said that he saw Summer's dead body? Do you guys remember that? That he taunted their daughter, allegedly, with that information? I'm sorry, but as a mother, I don't care who you are. If you would taunt my daughter with something that disgusting, I would never speak to you again for the rest of my life. And not only that, I would never defend a single thing about you. So I have always felt from that moment on that Jody Sue Brown had a vested interest in protecting whatever drug stuff that Andy Bernard was doing. Now, I remember Jody Sue Brown being asked, and I believe that this was on Doug's channel, No Thanks Investigates, but I believe that she was asked, I think it was on there. Don't quote me on that, please. There's been a lot of Jody Sue, okay? But I think it was on there, where she was asked about, him selling drugs. And she was like, oh, I don't know what he does. Like, I don't know. If he does it behind my back. Like, no, lady, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. So there's some things here. Now, I do think it's fair that we play Benny because he did respond to this video that was released a very short time ago. So we are going to listen to him because he is saying that this is not true. So we are going to him do that. And here is Benny and his rebuttal to this video that was just shown.
Let's talk about the call. The call. So, I believe it was April 7th. I received a call from a man and a woman from around the Knoxville area. They called me many times to try to give me the information. But some of y'all know how I am with the phone. A mess.
A mess.
So finally the people got through to me. I'll tell you how it played out. There's a man in the call. Hold on, let me move this big ass rock.
All right.
Okay. So there's a man. The man claims to work for a home improvement company with another man named Chase. Allegedly, the man Chase started out was ex-boyfriend of a social worker. Because there's an amendment made to the original call. So, and that was reported as well. I reported it to the TBI, got the standard TBI response, and so I immediately reported it to the FBI. Fizzle was on the call for both agencies.
So this man calls me with his wife, and they tell me this story about Summer. You guys have heard it all. Claims that Summer and the oldest or the youngest boy were both there alone in some facet. Someone came to the property. Someone chased the two children. The boy child was faster than the girl child. The girl child was caught, and then you heard in the call. So throughout the course of me being involved in YouTube, I've got many of these sort of very graphic calls.
Now, I can tell you that he's not lying about that. I don't care how big or small your channel is. You definitely will have people emailing you information. Some of it you can tell is complete BS. Some of it is like, that's interesting. So I do get what he's saying here, but we'll continue on.
And I never had to be told that you got to turn that stuff in. It's like someone telling you they're going to unalive themselves, even if you feel like they're not. You got to treat that scenario like you believe they will. So it came into the call, and I took the call, and then within 2 hours of receiving the call, I turned it in. It took 2 hours because I had to listen to the story. So I listened to the story. So I take the story to the TBI and FBI. Even offered to give them the recording, but they did not seem interested in the recording for whatever reason. Never had to send it. So how it got to the line?
See, here's where I get confused with Benny. Okay. And Benny, if you ever see the stream, I just would like an answer to that, because in the beginning he says, that he tried to give it to TBI, they gave the standard whatever, and then he turned it into the FBI. But then just now, he said he tried to turn it in and they just like didn't want it. I kind of just want to listen to that one more time so it's correct. Hang on.
Receiving the call, I turned it in. It took 2 hours because I had to listen to the story. So I listened to the story. So I take the story to the TBI and FBI. Even offered to give them the recording, but they did not seem interested in the recording for whatever reason.
Not interested.
Never had to send it. So how it got to the...
Never had to send it. I wonder why that is. I really do. Is it because the social worker had already turned it in, that they already knew? What reason would they not want information like that? That man on that call talked about this being like a good old boy system. They're all buddies. And we've all speculated about Lawson and all those people, numerous times, how they're all connected, how they all, sort of know one another, the land, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, continuing on.
The line. During the time of the call, Shannon S. she was part of the team. So 90 or 100 days ago, well, no, that's not quite that long, April 7th. I let her listen to the call as an example of the shit that I deal with as a YouTuber. Because it had already been cleared out by the TBI, it had already been cleared out by the FBI, it cleared out, been reported.
Well, and I'm confused about that, because he just said that it was cleared out by the TBI and the FBI, but I thought you just said that they weren't interested in the call, Benny. So I'm just asking, not accusing of anything, but I'm asking this question. Again, you said you tried to turn it in. They were not interested. Now you're saying that it was already cleared by them. So which one is it? You know what I'm saying?
So she had whatever issue with Bob and Lori, that truth be told. Now, Bombshell Reloaded, I got to give you props this morning. Bombshell Reloaded was playing the call. No, yeah. Bombshell was playing the call. So got to give props. I got to give a little props to the neighbor. The neighbor was like, y'all putting this call on the line. This is bullshit. I agree. It wasn't nothing for the line. It was two crackpots that were trying to get Benny Keys to take a Fugazi story to the YouTube, and it didn't happen. It did not happen.
Now, see, he just, called these people fugazi in case for some reason you don't know what that means. It's an Italian word for fake. So he's saying these two fake people brought this crazy, BS story to me. But a little later in the stream, he says that he actually believes that the people that told him this do believe that this is true. So he sort of downs them and calls them fugazi people. And then also says that he believes that, they were not lying to him. That he just sort of necessarily doesn't believe the story, but that they believed it. And that's why they told him that. So here we go.
So it is troubling for me to know. So let me back up. So while I'm questioning the people about the call, I'm like, hold on. So this dude Chase, when you go back and you find the social worker on the Facebook, she is connected to the dude on the Facebook. So it makes it look a little bit initially, you're like, whoa. So I did a bunch of investigating on the woman from the Isaiah House network. She's from the Isaiah House network. Come to find out, the story doesn't work because the story came to me like the lady from Isaiah House told this guy she was dating. Well, come to find out, she wasn't dating this guy Chase. And called the people back, and I'm like, hey, got a problem with this information because this lady from the Isaiah House is not and has not dated this guy Chase you're talking about. So that was when the story changed. It changed to Chase not having. So initially, it was that the lady from the Isaiah House cheated on her boyfriend with this guy named Chase and told Chase all this information, which Chase turned around and in turn gave it to one of his coworkers. Oh, shit. So I called the people back and I'm like, I researched it all. The lady from the Isaiah House is in a relationship and has been in a relationship with her man, for a long time. And that there's been no lady meeting with Chase, on a private sexual rendezvous so that they could get this information back and forth. Like it's discredited information.
I just have more questions about how it was discredited. Did Benny actually talk to the social worker? Did he question her about this alleged affair with this man named Chase, who is, has told his coworkers, and this is where the story's coming from. I would really like to know how Benny discredited this.
And furthermore, I'd like to state that the fact that it didn't come to the line shows an integrity. It shows an integrity that I could get a fucked up call like that, turn it in, and not bring it to the line. Like, there's a lot of shit that happened. Let me tell you what. I've had 2 other calls that are more salacious than this one. Yeah. So the rebound, the bounce, the spin, I don't even know where the spin came from because Shannon S. clearly felt some kind of way about me after having recorded the phone call. So she gives it to Bob and Lori. Bob and Lori hang on to the call for 2 months until yesterday I get a message from Shannon telling me it's from Izzy Pop. She forwarded a message to me through Izzy Pop saying that Bob and Lori at Ion Entertainment been the one calling the police on me and that they're the people responsible for the channel voices behind the shit.
So he's saying Bob and Lori. If you guys don't know who they are, Bob is blind, I believe, and that they are the people behind voices behind the shit. So there's that. that better? That's better. Okay. So sorry. But yeah, this whole entire thing, it's sort of like just all these pieces fall together. And I agree with you, sweet. I feel like Jody Sue Brown 100%, and this is my opinion, that she knows a hell of a lot more than she has said. And I've always found it interesting that she hardcorely defended Andy Bernard, her children's father, with the drug stuff. Why? Is Andy Bernard the person that Don owed money to? Is that possible? I guess it's possible, right? Feels like anything is possible in this case. So Aubrey, no, out. You cannot come in here like that. I do not want people on the internet seeing you. I'm sorry, you guys. Aubrey has her bathing suit on. I just don't want her on cam like that. So, anyway, little Dave says, I agree. All the people who complain bug me. Why don't they make their own channels if they think they can do better? Yeah, exactly. I have no idea why you would listen to true crime if you are not prepared to hear some pretty tough things. Very, very tough things. Thank you for the trigger warning, Lisa. It is a big one. No sound. Yes, I'm back. This would match up with what Donna Serafina said. Just saying. Yes, sativa. And as you heard in that call, she was brought up. So, Joe, who's controlling the younger child? Well, according to these people on the call, I do not know her name. I don't think the name was released, but it is a social worker, apparently. What is the Isaiah House? You know what? I've heard something about what that is, but let's Google real quick because that's a great question. What is Isaiah House? In Tennessee. Okay, so it says Isaiah House provides physical and emotional support in a safe and loving home for children awaiting foster care placement. That's interesting. Because did we not hear, I want to say maybe a month and a half ago, Aubrey, I am not going to tell you, oh, you have clothes on. Okay, she went and got some clothes on so she could be on the live stream. Listen, mommy's talking about really serious stuff here, and I don't want you to be a part of that, okay? So I love you. I will be in when I'm okay, we are going to eat. It's 12:43. Okay, mommy's got you. You're hungry every single live stream. I'm telling you, these people are going to call CPS on me one day that you are just a starved, deprived child. But please go in the house and mommy will be done soon. Yes, there's grandma. Aubrey, you booger. Do you hear grandma? Every live stream. We all know this. If you're new to my channel, she does this to me every single live stream. She's starved to death every darn live stream. So the child is never fed. I have no idea how she's even standing here right now and not emaciated out of her mind. So please go in the house and mommy will be in there. Okay. I really don't want to keep having to tell you that. Have some grapes, have an apple or something until mommy gets. Yes, we do, Aubrey. No, they are in the bottom crisper. I'm sorry. Do you guys know how this goes with Aubrey? We argue about food. It's crazy. That child eats like a 35-year-old man. Okay? I'm not even kidding with you. She just ate. What time is it? 12:45? Well, it's been a couple hours. But she really acts like she's just like going to keel over at any moment if she doesn't get another piece of food. And the thing is that we have a ton of fruit. We have all kinds of stuff in there that she could grab and munch on. But, she wants mommy to come in and cook her something. Fair enough. But either way, she does this every live stream. So anyway, back to this. Pink, are you laughing? Because I know you've seen Aubrey do this before. So little Dave, it sounds like the social worker knows and law enforcement must know too. No? Yes, I would assume this, little Dave. That's what I'm saying. Mal, why do I keep missing your comments? Oh. Why are you Miss Potato Head today? Jeez. Oh, I'm getting messages here. Sorry. I'm just trying to look at you guys' comments. Yep, Don Wells was out doing a lot of things. Yeah, he was, Joe. He sure was. And we've heard that from multiple people. Don even himself, that, he pretty much has a lifelong history of drug use. We've also heard from his sisters that he tried to sell one of his older children that is not by Candace a long time ago. We've also heard on Chris McDonough him talk about this sort of thing. Just saying. I think Michelle Walking, Michelle After Dark, she said that, how many times do we have to see coincidences before they stop being coincidences? And I've always thought that was good. Little Dave is saying, and the grandmother left the same day those boys were removed. Interesting, right? Interesting. Also interesting that, was it Shannon or Benny? It was one of them. I think it was Benny, actually, that said that Grandis was not allowed around the boys. That when Candace took a phone call from them, she, I guess, was FaceTiming with them, that Grandis, darted out of the house into her camper. And Benny said that he went over and sort of knocked on her door and was like, what's going on? You don't want to talk to them. And she told him that she's not allowed to. Well, why would that be? I always thought that was really strange. Yeah, Joe, that was another question that I had as well, and that's what I was saying. She's saying there's no way little W, that is the initial of the Wells's youngest son, would fit their J size. J is the Wells's oldest child. I'm sure you guys know this. Little W was small, could be a 6. Yeah, he in the pictures looked really small. So when I see the size of them pants, I was like, that's only fitting one boy, and that's the oldest one. So I always found that weird. That was the evidence that Benny allegedly got from the Wells house. So, yes, thank you, Mal. Okay. Let me just look at some more of you guys' comments. Little Dave. Did she leave Andy before or after Summer went missing? After Little Dave. She was all over saying that, Andy Bernard she called him Voldemort. A lot of people called him that because that's what she called him. You watch Harry Potter, the Voldemort is the evil bad guy in the, the books and the movies. So, but again, she continued with that, saying all kinds of bad things about Andy until Hunter named him as the Wells's drug dealer. Okay. And then it completely changed. She went on a big defending spree of him. That it was not her Andy, that was not true, all of this kind of stuff. And I'll remind you guys that Jody Sue Brown and Andy Bernard have the same drug charges. Okay? Joe is saying South Holston. It's spelled a little different than I believe, Joe, but South Holston Lake, Candace fished there. Is that the same one where the bridge? Where the bridge, sorry, the lake. I looked it up. They need to dredge it. Is that where she was fishing? Joe, do we know that? Is that where that lady Kathy's house was? What was? Was. Did you guys hear that? Was. Is that where that lady's house was? I don't know about that. Yes, I really believe it. I mean, little Dave saying they're all lying to cover up for the drugs. I really think, listen, anyone that's watched me long enough, I have always said that addiction was at the center of this case. That's always been so apparent to me that the addiction was the center of this case. That everything that's happened to those children is because of addiction. Everything that happens between the Wellses, addiction. Addiction is the center of this case. I just promise you that. When I was saying that, I didn't realize how deep that well actually went. Lisa Jones. I think they got the boys wrong. I think it was maybe the oldest, just because he been said to have issues. Yes, and that's another thing. Like I was saying, like what, maybe a month or so ago, month and a half ago, 2 months ago, did we not hear, was it Crime Stories Obsessed? Don't quote me on that either. There's a lot of information about this case. But I believe it was her channel where we heard that the two youngest boys were adjusting really well with a foster family. And then I believe that we heard that the oldest boy wasn't doing as well. He was sort of struggling. So, to hear that about the little one, the youngest boy. And I also think that the youngest boy was the one that played with Summer the most. They were the closest in age. One thing that always sticks out to me about that child, I remember Candace saying in the McDonough interview that, little W, he doesn't know anything. He's young. He doesn't know anything. I remember her saying that about him. Miss Potato Head is saying that she believes it was the oldest boy, in her opinion. What, Joe? Little Dave, I read something that said all three boys are in special education. I hope so. I do. I sincerely hope that that they're in everything they could possibly be to help them. So Mallory, I'm refusing to call her Miss Potato Head. Mallory is saying, why is this Shannon S leaking this information now? I do not know the answer to that. I know that she's heard it. Benny said that she's heard it. I don't know if her and Benny have had some falling out. He did say that, she must have felt some sort of way towards him. She leaked this in a Discord. So that's all I know. That's all I heard. I do not know why now. Grandma. No freaking warning. You know me, Grandma. When I'm ready to go live, I go for it. Joe, Shannon was the one who was at a motel with Grandis and Candace BK. Yes, she was. Yes, Joe. That's Shannon. Remember the child? Remember us seeing Candace in a hotel room and there was a child behind her? That was an actual child. That was Shannon. Was it Shannon or Kathy? Jesus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because these people. Yes, Lisa, thank you. So damn confusing. Huh. So damn. I think that was Kathy's kid. But I thought it was Shannon's. Not sure. Yes, Blue. Shannon has stayed at the Wellses twice. She befriended Candace pretty early on in the case. And, it was just like her friend in the background. She really didn't come out, like out to the public until, just a couple of months ago on Benny's channel. And it was really after Benny had, like split away from Candace and Don that she came onto Benny's channel and they had quite a few interesting talks about the case, to be honest with you. Grandma, they want it to be confusing, but I think the lady's story is credible. You know what? I do too. I mean, even Benny saying, do I believe that these people were telling the truth? Like, that they had heard the story. Yes, I actually believe that. I believe that as well. Oops, I hate the way this thing moves so darn fast. Grandma? Exactly what Donna said, and fits about H seeing Candace's text that said it's done. Right? Right? All these pieces of this puzzle are just slowly working themselves all together. They just really are. It's done. What's done? What is done? And then I think about this because there's been a lot of people that, think that this actually happened on the 14th and not the 15th because of Dudley. How do you pronounce his last name? Ajon, Dudley. You guys know who I'm talking about. Don's ex-coworker. Dudley said that, the day before that Don, when he came into work, Don was sitting on the bathtub, just distraught, like he had just lost his best friend. This is the day before Summer disappears. Don fired him that day. Agent. Yes, thank you, little Dave. Dudley agent. Don fired him the day before Summer went missing. Don looked distraught. I'm wondering, did Don know what was going to happen the next day? Did they make this arrangement? Is that why he was distraught? Was this going to be the last night when he gets home from work that he was going to see his child? Is that why? Hi, Tamra. Hi, guys. Tries to get here. Internet is in and out if I poof. That's okay, T. And by the way, you guys, Tamara is not pronounced Tamara. It is pronounced Tamra. So just throwing that in there. I got to get that right. So let's see. Lisa. Oh, Lisa looked him up. That Chase I looked up, I'm afraid I will get in trouble for saying where he is at. If this is the right guy, he is really young. Interesting. Very interesting. It's not uncommon for women in relationships to have affairs, okay? People do it every day. I'm just saying. Just because someone's in a relationship does not mean they don't cheat. It happens literally every day. Somebody's cheating on somebody right now as we speak. Yes, Grandma, that's what I'm saying. Grandma's saying it fits. If this was planned initially to go one way, that Don knew and was crying at work the 14th, Right. If he knew, if this was planned, and he knew, he would be distraught. This is the last day my kids are going to be here. I got to give them up for this drug money that I owe, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day it happens. She's gone. She disappears. Vanished. Summer did not vanish off that hill by herself. I will never believe that. I am sorry. Seen that terrain. It's a no for me. Miss Eminem, I'm catching up. Did you see JLR's video at the horse stables? They say they were there most of the day. Yes, I did see that. Not just 10 to 15 minutes like Candace said. I did see that. And you know what? I have never, ever believed that Candace and Hunter and Summer were there for 10 to 15 minutes. That just literally makes no sense at all. I feel like Candace had planned to go there that day with Hunter to do whatever it is that they were doing. Now, I think about Hunter quite a bit with this case because of the things that he has said. Do you guys remember in the McDonough interview? I probably should go back and rewatch that because it's been quite a while since I've watched that, but I've watched it a million times. Either way, Hunter said that they were supposed to go somewhere that day, that they were going to some place. Remember him saying that Candace said that she was taking the kids someplace, this and that. Then you have Allie saying that Hunter was traumatized. Now we're hearing the little one is traumatized, talking to walls, staring at walls. I mean, it's like, ugh. I wish somebody would just be honest and just speak up and out and tell. I don't think that's going to happen, though. One eye open. With all the BS and all the BS people that come out with these stories that they know exactly what happened, they've all turned out to be liars. So I don't trust any of them. None. 0, 0. Fair enough. Fair enough. I cannot blame you. Yeah. Grandma, audio is effed. Well, it's not now, ma'am. I'm way behind in these. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down because I can't go through all those comments right now. Little Dave, the water park. And didn't it make sense? Because why bring a velour jogging suit to go to a water park? That doesn't make any sense. It also does not make sense that they had her first day of kindergarten's outfit in June. Like, does Candace strike you as the type of mother that would plan ahead that far? Nah, I don't think so. And not just that. It's still hot when school starts. I don't send my kids ever, like the first day of school, in a velour, jogging suits. I don't send them in anything hot because it's still hot outside. They usually start school with shorts and t-shirts. And as it starts getting colder, we move to jeans and things like that. So I found that just a very odd outfit choice for a first day of school, especially in Tennessee, where it's definitely going to be hot when school starts. I live further up in Delaware, and it's always hot here when school starts. So that outfit just never made sense to me. It didn't make sense to me why they had it. It didn't make sense to me why there was this video with her in it. Does not make sense. And I just have to wonder, why was that video taken? Why does she look like that? Just all kinds of things. Yeah. Yes. There you go. Thank you again, little Dave. First fishing, then swimming, then a water park. Yeah. Oh, wait. I want to read Tamara's comment. Or Tamara. Sorry. Jesus. Tamara, this is going to take, just bear with me. I promise you that I will get in the habit of saying your name correctly. Okay. So I'm so used to calling you the other thing, Tamara, that it's going to take me a minute to break that habit. Either way. So Tamara, the 14th is when Don was told whatever it was that caused Summer to be missing. whether CPS is coming and no way to stop them or the debt is due. Yeah. Yep. Yes, 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 yes. Exactly. Have other people talked about this? Like that it just doesn't make sense that that would be her. I think that was just a complete lie. Just a complete lie. But do you remember Jose Ramon saying that that was the nicest outfit he's ever seen her in? Which to me just looks like, just a basic kid's, jumpsuit, basically. So, but yeah, it makes no sense. It's summertime still, basically, when school starts. There's no reason to send your kid to school and that hot stuff. Like, I don't know anyone that does that. Rainy days. Hi. In the call, the woman said the youngest boy witnessed her commit that act on Summer. Who was her, and how would the brother escape? Wait, what? Do we need to go back to this call real quick and re-listen? Because that's not what I heard. We're going to do that. We are going to go back to this call and we are going to listen to that part again. Trigger warning, because I need to hear this again. I didn't think that that's what I heard, but it might have been. So let's just listen just to that part one more time and make sure that that is what was actually said. Let me see if I can turn on captions. Even though captions get it wrong so much. All right. Let's see. I don't know what part we're at here.
In there that just sits there for looks, and you can go inside and within 30 minutes at their house. So, I mean, but the boy also did say that they dumped her body in South Holston Lake. Now, mind you, South Holston Lake comes all the way from my house down to the Tri-Cities, so it is massive. It's where, who knows? I don't know.
Okay, so when is there?
Okay, wait, that's not the correct part. Let me go back. Where was this part at? I think we're almost there. Okay, let's start here.
We're actually directed to give not just Summer, but the youngest boy up for ransom. So it was both of them that were supposed to be given up. Something had happened that day, and everything fell apart. It went wrong. And during the time that they were taken from home, apparently, I don't know if he said it was at the house when this happened or if it was away, but when the boy and the girl realized what was happening, Summer apparently tried to run, and the little boy ran, and something happened to where Summer got hurt, and they actually watched her cut that little girl's throat. And this is what he's told.
They watched. They actually watched her. She did say that. Whoa. One more time. I'm sorry. I like to,
And they actually watched her cut that little girl's throat. And this is what he's told the social worker.
But she's not allowed to say anything because of an NDA.
An NDA act. So there's her as well as the guy that works with my husband in 5.
They actually watched her cut that little girl's throat. Oh, seriously disturbed. I am not gonna lie to you. Tamara, did you hear that? Do you need me to play that one more time? She did say her. Thank you, Rainy Days. Very good catch. I did not catch that. Kristen Sousa, where is this from? This is from this channel. Let me just show you guys again. It's Voices Behind the Shit. not Voices Behind the Wall. Don't confuse it with that. It's this channel. Okay. These stupid messages. Okay. So it's this channel here. Voices Behind the Shit. But you see that shit is spelled with an exclamation point for the I. So if you go to look it up, that's how it's spelled. That is really, I'm really disturbed right now because she really did say her. They actually watched her. Tried to run, and the little boy ran, and something happened to where Summer got hurt. And they actually watched, it's right there. They actually watched her.
Cut that little girl's throat. And this is what he's told the social worker.
And this is what he's told the social worker. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was posted maybe 12 hours ago or so, Kristen. Mal, Shannon S. put this in Voices Behind the Shit's Discord. Yes, she did. Oh, the hell text is in the way of what? Of me sharing the screen. Sorry. I'm sorry. Freaking tech. But yeah, I mean, that was a really good catch because I'm going to have to listen to this a lot more closely. Because that is what she said. And it's right there. One more time.
It's where Summer got hurt, and they actually watched her cut that little girl's throat.
They actually watched her cut that little girl's throat. Talking about Candace, I assume. Yes, very, very good listening skills for Rainy Days. Rainy Days gets the thumbs up today. Also, Kristen, to be fair, we must be fair here in what we are doing. So, Benny also has put out a response video pretty much to this being leaked. You should probably listen to that as well. He just entitled it The Call. So I would watch that as well, just to sort of get both sides, because Benny is ultimately saying that he pretty much debunked this. He gave some details on how he debunked it, but yeah, I don't know. I wish he would have went into more detail about exactly how he debunked it. So, little Dave here. Oh, what the heck am I doing? No, exit full screen. Sorry. Little Dave is saying, do you guys know how to post links? Go to videos, click share. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If anybody wants to grab that for me, I would appreciate it. Mal, I always ask you, but if you could grab the link to Voices Behind the Shits video and also Betty's video. Again, if you're not a Betty Keys fan, that's fine by me. I'm not picking sides with people, okay? I just think that it's fair because this was released and it's a phone call with him to also listen to what he has to say, and then you can make your own determination. I don't know. I feel like this is more pieces of the puzzle. I really do. So, thank you, Grandma. Thank you. And is that the one? Okay, so that's the Voices Behind the Shit one. Okay. Thank you guys. And then Grandma, is this top one up here the one to Benny's? Miss M&M, I think Benny knows a lot more. I do as well. I do. I think Benny knows quite a bit. Yeah, little Dave. And now Jose is dead. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Tamara, I'm in the car. I'm behind. Okay. Grace is saying, I believe the water park was planned for the upcoming weekends. I don't know about that, Grace, because I'm pretty sure that Hunter said something that, well, maybe it wasn't a water park, but he said something that Candace was taking the kids somewhere later that day. Some type of, fun atmosphere place, whether it was a water park or something of that nature, that she was doing that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Tamara, it's a pretty serious call here. Thank you, Mal. And here is BK's video, like response to this video, pretty much. There's the link to that. So, Grandma, I need to listen to Donna's reading again. So do I. I found it really interesting that these people that called Benny, they said to him, we're Christians, we don't really like that kind of stuff, but we did listen to what she had to say. And a lot of what she said was true. That kind of raised my eyebrows because I was like, well, how do you know everything that she said was true? Or most of the things that she said are true. Like, I know this guy was telling you stuff, but, I don't know. Little Dave. Then he said they were going to go on the Friday. Hunter's story is all over the place. Thanks for sharing the links. Yes, thank you to Mal and Grandma for sharing the links. Thank you guys. Pink, it could just be an alibi. It could be. Sue M, is she in the lake or on land? According to this phone call, she's in a body of water. It's called. Let me look real quick. Sorry. Oh, those are really cute pics, Grandma. I'm looking right now. Those are really cute. Grandma actually looked this up for me where it's called. South Holston Dam. Let me get this right and spell it right, because I tried to spell Chase Venstra's name twice and screwed it up twice and had to go back and edit. So this is how you spell this if you guys want to look up this place. South Holston Dam. It's yeah, and like I said, it's like 39 minutes to Warriors State Park. So Blue, that part about Candace and another activity with the kids was confusing. I agree with that. Because Chris McDonough got confused and the convo got kind of messed up. It did. That part did get confusing. I agree with you. Mal, I just use Google Talk when I'm unsure, Jess. Yeah. Listen, I told you, Mal. Me and Google, we fight. Me and Alexis or Alexa, we fight. So I just would rather type it in so I don't have to hear Google's mouth. I'm surprised it's not saying anything right now because I just had the audacity to mention the name Google. So, but anyway, so I think that's going to do it for this live stream. I strongly encourage you guys to watch both of those videos on your own and again, come to your own conclusion. It sounds credible to me. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like anything is possible in this case, and there's nothing off the table. And all this drug talk and all this talk. And remember Don saying he wants to run up in people's houses, the drug dealers' houses, and find her. Even the letter. Oh, before we go, we are going to share this. We are going to share this because that letter that Don sent yesterday, or not yesterday, on the 15th, was that really 3 days ago? Jesus. Days like fly by. That Don Wells had, I'm assuming Tim Mullins, put up on his page. Let's see. Don Wells. Yeah, and he wrote a letter about Summer. And I thought that letter was even telling. I watched it and I was like, well, wait a minute. So this is the letter that Don wrote. And Tim Mullins plays it on this video. Am I sharing my screen with you guys? Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure before I do this. Okay. So we're going to read. We're going to read this letter. So it says a letter and a prayer for Summer. Okay. This is Don from inside of the jail. Since you've been gone, I've been completely devastated. I'm going to just ignore his typos and read them as it should be. I looked everywhere for you, my beautiful girl. I thought YouTube would be the most powerful tool to help find you, and perhaps it still could be. Well, it could be, Don. But at a price we may not be able to afford. Our family may not survive. Yeah, the family has not survived. Your children are in foster care and your daughter's missing and you're in jail. Your family has not survived. Let me let this get up a little bit further. That music is killing me. I'm turning it off. So he goes on to say, I'm sorry, my beautiful girl, that I completely lost my mind. Does it sound weird to you guys? He's sorry to Summer that he completely lost his mind. Interesting, no? With so many thoughts of people harming you, and I know you want to come home. And there's nothing I can do. I'm powerless. So I ask God, please look over my precious daughter. We love her so much. We wish, God, you will return her to us as well as the boys. I would be so happy to be a family again. And then, like he's some sort of preacher, he asks everyone to bow their heads. Don, I'm sorry, you're not a preacher. I will say the Lord's Prayer on my own. So thank you. But I did think that this was just really telling. I'm so sorry, my beautiful girl, that I completely lost my mind. Such an interesting sentence. With so many thoughts of people harming you. And I know you want to come home, and there's nothing I can do. I'm powerless. Find that very interesting. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I find that very, yes, there you go, Grandma. Me. Little Dave, he knows. Pink butterfly, yep, creepy. Tamra, hit the thumbs up button, guys. Yeah, listen, I should probably start saying this a lot more, and I do this every live stream. If you guys could please hit the thumbs up, obviously it helps my channel. Everyone knows that. And I would just really appreciate it if you guys did. So please hit the thumbs up button, and thank you if you do. So, Miss Eminem, he apologized to the searchers that they were getting hurt. I know. which I guess that's a nice gesture, but it's like, I don't know that I would apologize to them. I think I would thank them and, I guess maybe say, I'm really sorry if you've gotten hurt, but thank you so much for looking for my daughter. And, it's rough terrain. It really is. There's sticks, there's branches. It's vast. So of course I pretty much assumed that the searchers went out there knowing that they were going to get some cuts and stuff like that. Hey, big dream, or dream big, I'm sorry. Grandma, it's all about Don. Little Dave, it's all about him, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, of course. I just find that one sentence just really telling. Like, I'm sorry, my beautiful girl, that I completely lost my mind. What does that mean? What does that mean? You lost your mind and you're apologizing to her. Huh. That's really strange. I if I was to write a letter to my missing daughter, I don't think that I would say something like that. Because what am I apologizing? Maybe if my daughter went missing, like in my front yard, I would be saying something like, I'm so sorry that I took my eyes off of you for 5 minutes and you're gone. Like, I feel like POS. But to say I'm sorry that I lost my mind, what'd you lose your mind about? Grandma, Don lost his mind on drugs. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you. Yes, I really feel like that was an apology to her. Like, I'm so sorry. I completely lost my mind and, I did this. Because again, his sister said that he tried to sell his oldest child way back in the day. This isn't like new for Don, okay? Little Dave, is that Holston Dam the place where there was video of Summer and her brother swimming and playing at the waterfall? I'm unsure, Little Dave, but maybe we can dig into that and find the answer to that. Miss Eminem, I think he wanted to warn the drug dealers to hide their stuff. Lisa, thanks, Jess. Great live. Everyone have an awesome day. You too, Lisa. Thank you so much. Please hit that thumbs up button on the way out, girl. Grandma sending love to all. I have to watch Donna's reading again. Yes, for sure. Okay, we are going to end it here. We're going on an hour and a half now, almost. So I appreciate everyone that came in. If I didn't get to your comment, I'm really sorry. But yeah, please go watch both those videos for yourself in their entirety. I obviously did not play them in their entirety, but I encourage you guys to watch them. Little Dave, his defense, he lost his mind. Exactly, Little Dave. We'll end it there. So I will see you guys later, and you guys have a great Saturday. Let me get in here and feed this emaciated child that I have. Okay? So bye, guys. Have a good day.